Hosted by DME Sports Academy. Our first matchup features West Oaks Academy of Orlando, Florida versus the Rock School of Gainesville, Florida. Here are the starting lineup for the visiting West Oaks Academy out of Orlando, Florida. At 6'2", guard from Chicago, Illinois, number 1, Tyrell Jones. At 6'2", guard out of Sarasota, Florida, Tyreek Lake. At 6'3", guard from Luanda, Angola, Eric Armando. At 6'8", forward from Luanda, Angola, Rippin Miguel. And at 6'9", forward from Lagos, Nigeria, Simeon Vermont. And now the starting lineup for the Rock School. At 6'3", guard from Lagos, Mantrell Salmon. At 5'11", guard from Gainesville, Jay McGregor. At 6'4", guard from Gainesville, Jermaine Greenlee. At 6'4", guard from Toronto, Canada, David Campbell. And at 6'9", center from Birmingham, Alabama, Wayne Hill.
It'll be West Oaks and DME in the SIAA Girls Championship. Who's going to join them on Championship Saturday tomorrow? We're about to find out. West Oaks to take on the Rock here in the first half of our boys doubleheader for the semifinal matchup here in the SIAA. West Oaks in the maroon uniforms, the Rock in the white jerseys, as we're set for the first of two matchups here tonight to settle the championship for tomorrow here in the SIAA. West Oaks coming off a win earlier this week in the quarterfinals, beating Potter's House. Last year, beating them 98-91. And the Rock beating Calusa Prep 86-46 in the quarterfinal. As we're off and rolling here in this semifinal matchup, with West Oaks getting the basketball first to begin. 2 18-minute halves, the shot clock in play, and a traveling called against the Flame on the opening possession.
Right call. Right call. They really didn't have a plan, just drove it into the middle of the defense there.
Some full court pressure for West Oak here to begin. The Rock having to break it across midcourt. Greenlee handing off to Campbell up top. Charlton, the step back, off the mark.
You know, I always like to see something going to the hole early in a game just to get the jitters out. I hate seeing settling for jump shots.
In the post, the spin, the foul, and the shot attempt, and Riffin Miguel will head to the line.
Looks like they're going to be. Looks like West Oaks offensively, the first 2 trips, they've come down and they've fed the big guy both times in the kind of the post area, and looks like they're going to play off him early on in this ball game.
They did that last time I saw them play. He's got some good footwork down there, and you know, they're obviously a guard-oriented team, Casey, but you know, the Rock is a little young inside, and I would definitely go in there and see what I can get early on as well.
Miguel getting West Oaks on the board with the free throw. 49 seconds in.
You know, Miguel's a big guy. If this basketball thing don't work out, he could put his foot in the dirt and play a little, or put his hand in the dirt and play a little football.
Listed at 6'8". Junior from Angela. Gives a 2-0 lead to the Flame here in the opening minute. Pass off the mark as Charlton was expecting a cut that never came from McCray. The Rock turns it over.
West Oaks did a great job right there fighting over the flare screen.
Two 2-0 lead for West Oak with the basketball.
Diagonal, once again, throwing it to the big fella.
Miguel working on the block, backing in, turning, drawing a jump ball. And it should, if the score table is correct, it will go over to the Rock.
I would have liked to see the big dive there, Simeon German. Thought if he dove, they would have the skip opposite there.
First matchup between these two this season with a berth in the championship on the line. Nice defensive play by Jermaine there with the block to save. Here comes Jones. Pull up three. No good.
I'm not sure Coach Gilliam really likes that shot, quick in the shot clock. They've been getting stops, but only have really I don't even think the Rocks even drew iron yet offensively. They really haven't had a very good start offensively. And that was a quick shot there by Tyrell Jones.
Rock trying to get on the board. Greenlee brings it up, finds McCray. Charlton at the top. Back to Greenlee. The Rock trying to get inside the arc. Shot clock to single digits already. Greenlee yo-yos in the lane. Nice wraparound pass in the lane. Good for Kidd.
That's a great give right there after beating his man off the bounce. Little zone here. Little zone showed by.
And a foul called inside as Jermaine received it in the lane. That'll be on the floor.
You know, the problem is if you're Coach Harden, you go zone there to try to contain everything, go a little slower, and then you give the ball up right at the rim. Unbelievably frustration over there.
Good hands.
Greenlee with the steal, Greenlee with the lane.
He's a gamer, Casey. I watched him make some really big plays down the stretch in that double overtime game against DME at the Rock, which got them the 1 seed in the North. And I'm a big fan of Greenlee. Runs his team.
Nice one-handed rebound there from Campbell, who spins his way in the lane, loses his balance, got the shot blocked by Jermaine. Jones running the offense for the West Oaks Flame. Over to Amandio, and he gets it knocked out of bounds. 11 on the shot clock.
You know, it looks like the Rock's going to hedge hedge ball screens. You know, there's been 2 ball screens set. Both of them they've hedged and shown and then recovered. I hear Coach Harden yelling, help side, help side, help side. So I guess that's the game plan.
Both teams seem pretty engaged defensively so far. I've liked the intensity. Obviously, West Oaks loves the pressure, which some teams they can expose more than others with that pressure, but both teams so far have been pretty good on the defensive side.
Miguel with the first 4 points for West Oaks. We're all tied. 3 minutes and change into the semifinal matchup. Campbell, shake and bake, gets the shot blocked. Charlton with a reverse lay-in, gets it to roll with the foul. Rather, it's Tyrell Jones with the finish on the and one.
What great move, great finish right there. Great finish. You know, offensively down here, the Rock's running good stuff. They're getting where they want to go. But in that situation right there, you got to go through the guy and go to score. Looked like to me he went to get fouled down here for the Rock.
3-point play for Tyrell Jones, the captain for West Oaks, a junior out of Chicago. 7-4 the lead for the Flame. Greenlee to Campbell. Campbell off a screen, directing traffic, gets it back to Greenlee. The Rock hasn't gotten much penetration inside the arc here out of the half-court set. Now a double team on Greenlee. He's going to lose it into the backcourt. They're going to say it's tipped. 4 on the shot clock for Greenlee. He gets tripped at midcourt with 1 on the shot clock, and he's bailed out by Blankeny.
Jerome, 2 big calls right there, 1 no call. I thought he did a good job, though. I thought that was a good deflection. I know the crowd doesn't agree. And then silly foul that you have to call at half court. Bailout.
Well, here's my thing. Look at the mismatch that the Rock has with Simeon guarding the guard from the Rock right here. He can't chase him around all day.
Stolen away by Miguel, and Miguel couldn't finish the one-hand dunk. Foul on the putback try that will send Simeon Germain to the line.
You know, I hear Coach Gillian over there yelling winning plays. I agree. You're in a semifinal of your state tournament. I think you just got to go lay that one in.
Yeah.
Or finish it. Either one.
Jay needs both of these. Or else you left points on the board, yeah.
And that'll be the case. Free throw no good. Germain, a 6'10 junior from Nigeria. 6'10, but averages just 3 points a game.
He does a lot for them, though, outside of just scoring the ball. You know, he's really one of their 2. Well, they got 3 bigs, but he plays the majority of their minutes. And you see on the defensive side, he's versatile enough defensively where, as Casey said, he's guarding, you know, wings out here on the perimeter. He's more of a 3-4 defensive-minded. Coach Gilliam's a defensive-minded coach, and he kind of fits that mold.
You know, West Oaks, looking at what they're doing on ball screen, they're zoning everything up, trying to just contain the dribbler. At some point, and you may not see it till the second half, you're going to see the Rock go to getting Jaden Campbell in a ball screen with the big. That puts 2 bigs in a ball screen with a guard coming off. I don't know if you'll see that in the first half, but I do believe you'll see that at some point when the Rock needs a basket.
There's McCray with it for the Rock. They trail 7-4. Greenlee to Charlton. Dribbles at hands. McCray. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Greenlee. 3 to shoot. Pull-up jumper. Rims off.
You said it, Luke. The Rock really struggled to get penetration on West Oaks here. A lot of just passing around the perimeter in late ball screen action at the end of the shot clock, but pretty much daring them to be a perimeter shooting team.
Nice block by the 6'9 Capiti off the inbounds. Shot blocked again by Capiti. Here's Hermain. He gets rejected from behind by Campbell, out of bounds.
Let me ask this question. If you're the Rock, how long can you continue to let Hamilton catch it on the block before you start getting concerned with foul trouble, him scoring, whatever? Coach Gilliam's not happy.
He's going to take a timeout for West Oaks. They just had 3 of their shots blocked in about an 18-second span. And with 12:48 to go in the first half of this semifinal matchup, it's a 7-4 lead for West Oaks as they'll be inbounding here under their own basket out of the timeout.
Boy, if Coach Gilliam had my blood pressure problem, I don't know if my medicine would do him any good. He's so fired up over there right now. He is not a happy man.
What have you seen from the opening 5 minutes and change that have gotten the Flame out to the early but small advantage?
I just think West Oaks is tough. They're going to get up in you. They're going to challenge you. They're going to make you make basketball plays, and they're going to see how tough you are, and they're going to try to bulldog you. That normally bodes well, especially early in the game. But as the game wears on, your guards get used to that pressure. Let's see what happens as this thing plays out a little bit.
I would say I haven't seen a whole lot. I would still call the lack of penetration by the Rock the key reason why they've got 4 points right now. Defensively, they've tried to hold their own inside and have to a degree, but the bigs aren't having an impact early on, as I haven't seen much, really any explosion on either side with their guard play.
Three-pointer no good for Campbell. Rebound stays with the Rock, and the putback good for McCray.
The refs are letting them play, and that's in the semifinal or finals. You want the players to dictate the outcome of game. So I like how this has been a well-officiated game so far.
Right there on the ball screen, great show by the Rock. Didn't really hedge it, just kind of showed a little one hand. I like to see the guard keep it in his hands a little more.
Charlton on the pull-up. No good. Rebounded by Jones. Jones coast to coast, gets it off the glass.
I like him on the ball so much more than I do him being a spot-up jump shooter. Last time I saw him play, he was a two-guard pretty much the whole game, and I just think he's a high-level point guard.
An illegal screen set by Darden. Capito will give it back over to West Oaks, holding a 5-point lead.
What would you say about that?
I thought it was a good acting job a little bit. I don't know. That's such a tough call right here. I mean, he probably did a good job of getting in his hip pocket, but he stood straight up when he ran to the screen. So I think it was a little acting.
I agree.
5 fouls on the Rock, 2 on West Oaks here to begin. Still on just our 7th minute of action.
Coach Harden over there with a long conversation. Sure, he explained his argument there.
Mikell has to save it on the baseline, saves it to the other team. Greenlee with the steal. Greenlee foul, finishes off the window.
Now, are they going to give him this?
I would. But that is generous continuation.
They gave it to him. Coach Harden's preaching earlier got him an and one there, I believe. A little questionable.
Coach Harden with the 3-piece suit tonight. He mentioned before the game that if it got Tony Bannister 8 championships, he hoped it would get him one this year.
It's worked well for Tony.
Except for tonight.
He met the Panaggio train tonight.
Yeah, we won't ask Mike's thoughts on the game.
Yeah.
But a big win earlier for DME to put them in the championship tomorrow. Now trying to settle things on the boys' side. Jones, driving kick. Miguel can't hit the 3. Jones couldn't finish the putback. Charlton off a screen. Drive, kick out, 3-pointer. Off the mark for Greenlee. Put back good for Capiti.
Both teams have done most of their damage on the offensive glass so far early on. That's kind of been.
Both coaches are really working referees here.
1 point game, 8 minutes in.
The Rock in a little 3-2 zone.
Miguel turns it over, stolen by Greenlee. Greenlee with the scoop. No, second effort, yes.
I like a no call there. I don't know what the call would be there.
I thought it was a good no call too.
And the Rock takes the lead, 12-11.
Both coaches are passionate about this thing. Players are passionate. I'm going to say this, though. I don't believe the Rock being in the zone is the answer. West Oaks has gotten the ball wherever they've wanted to every trip versus the zone.
Capiti with his third block for the Rock, and then on the fast break they were fouled.
I don't think either team's an extraordinarily great outside shooting team. I think they got guys that can make shots and get streaky, but I think that's maybe his thought process. But
the problem is, though, they've been in zone and the ball's been at the rim both trips. That's concerning.
Corner three. Oh, too far. There's airballed by Charlton. Now stolen by Greenlee on the defensive end.
That's why you don't outlet to your center right there.
Great block.
Jermaine with the block inside.
Great block.
We've seen a lot of great defensive plays around the rim already tonight, each team with a handful of blocks.
Hamilton getting a much-deserved rest.
They bounce to Greenlee for the Rock, leading by a point midway through the first half. The kick out to the corner. Three-pointer no good for Gomez. Rock keeps it. Three-pointer now for Charlton. Rims out. And West Oaks with the rebound. Here comes Blakeney. Striding to the hoop. Couldn't finish.
Got numbers if they can get out of there.
Oh, got him on a hook. That's the right call.
Greenlee trying to get out of a double team. Instead commits the offensive foul for the Rock.
That's the right call.
And before Miguel could even catch his breath, he's headed back to the scores table and just as suddenly heading back to the bench. Coach Gilliam changing his mind. And Miguel will remain on the bench with his 6 points tonight.
I don't believe he was real happy with Mr. Hamilton's body language when he went checking the game.
I think you're better suited going into the zone now with only one big on the floor. And neither team has shown that they could shoot the ball consistently so far. It's been a lot of open looks and nobody's really made anything.
Blakeney's pass gets deflected over to Miguel for the lay-in.
Great touch pass. Unbelievable. I don't know how he saw him.
Just how Coach Gilliam drew it up right there.
Looks like they're going to deny Greenlee the basketball. Tough shot. Probably tough shot.
Capiti couldn't hit the turnaround. Fast break for Harris. Harris gets it knocked free. Players on the floor after the loose ball. And a timeout taken by the Rock.
The intensity, the energy, and the effort on both teams. Oh, whoa, there was a push. And the ref didn't. Wow.
They really let them go.
Yeah. Number 4, J.J. Harris just got away with a total push after the play. But both teams have been playing really hard. But I think they're so jacked up that neither one's hitting any jumpers and maybe playing a little bit too fast and out of control.
Well, there's no doubt that the intensity level is, I think both teams have answered the bell from that standpoint. And right now the game is the way West Oaks needs it to be. It needs to be a dogfight. It needs to be chaotic. It needs to be a street yard fight. And that's what it needs to be because that fits West Oaks and it fits even Coach Gilliam's temperament a little bit. He wants in your face. It's almost like he's Nolan Richardson's grandson, to be honest with you, back from the Arkansas days. And Justin wants it to be, Coach Harden wants it to be, a finesse game. His kids are tough, but the more finesse, the more plays called, stuff like that, I think benefits the Rock. So definitely a contrast.
8:02 to go first half. West Oaks leading the Rock 13-12.
Coach Gillian still not happy with Mr. Hamilton. Still told him to stay over there and have a seat.
Full court press put on by the Flame out of the timeout. The Rock having to break it. And Greenlee will get it across midcourt, guarded by Amandio.
I'd like to see if they try to get a shot for McCray here.
There it is.
He's their one guy that can consistently shoot the ball, and that was a good play out of the timeout by Coach Harden. Little flare screen off of the horn set.
You must coach or something. You knew it was going to McCray. He hits the three. As the floater gets blocked.
Good block from help side there.
Capiti with his 4th block already here in the half.
He's a young kid, Capiti. Obviously has a lot of promise. The first time I saw him, I thought, I didn't know if he was going to be able to help him in this type of element. And he's been ready for the game today. Been a very good shot blocking presence and a rim protector for Coach Harden.
So notice the last big shot right here. Notice the last 4 minutes, they've only had one big on the floor. So now this is Simeon's break. They bring back in Hamilton. Not as comfortable with only one big on the floor, especially offensively.
Well, they've struggled to get the ball inside the same way when they went with 2 bigs out against the zone. Like you said earlier, they were getting shots at the rim. Capiti bailed them out a few times on some great plays from help side, but only having one big on the floor, really, I think the Rock, who plays small, it kind of plays to their favor and lets them pack it in and play that zone.
But keep in mind this, 2 trips, 2 sets called, 2 threes.
Yep.
We said coming out of the last media timeout or out of the last timeout that the Rock wants to be able to run their stuff. If they can run their stuff, the game fits the Rock. If it's chaotic, if it's kids having to go make plays, if it's rugged, fits West Oaks.
Absolutely. The game being ugly, pressure, turnovers, that's definitely up-tempo. That's going to be playing into the hands of West Oaks. They've got electric guards, especially in the open floor.
Luke, I feel honored to sit next to a man who took down Potter's house. I mean, the legacy of Tony Bannister tonight. Coach Panaggio over here just said, I may not have a 3-piece suit because my best isn't here, but let's go play. Congratulations to those guys. But you can't take away from Potter's house. 8 championships. Wow. Unbelievable.
No, Tony does a great job, and he had a down year, and it just happens that I was fortunate to have a pretty good team come in the league this year, and got pretty good guard play that can handle his style, and we were ready to go.
Miguel back in the game, and he gets the bucket right out of the timeout for West Oaks.
Good little high-low set by Coach Gilliam in a much-needed basket.
Notice this, though. Both coaches, good move. Both coaches have came out of timeouts. Buckets. Layups. Both teams coming out of timeouts have scored next possession.
West Stokes is in a 1-3-1 alignment against this 3-2.
Three-pointer air ball from the corner by Harris.
I'm still not comfortable if I'm Coach Harden with my zone. Where's the ball been the last 2 trips? Right in the middle of the paint. Both times against zone.
The Rock with a 5-point lead on the basketball. 6:10 to go here in the first half.
Little flex cut into diagonal.
Campbell driving the reverse, no. Rebound and put back off the glass for Kidd.
Coach Gillian says I've seen enough rebounds. Simeon, let's go. We're going to play the last 5 minutes with both bigs.
Go 5 out here.
Miguel.
Good pass.
And the lay-in for Jones. Greenlee turned it over, then a foul called against Greenlee.
You know, if they set that high ball screen a little lower, I think he gets a few mid-range pull-up jumpers there. A guy went under the screen and was able to recover, and Greenlee has to be aggressive looking to score and shoot the ball off of that screen because they're just daring him to take those jumpers.
Problem is he came off the ball screen it looked like he was trying to hand it off or something. There was no purpose to score. And then he naturally started playing with it. If you play with it against West Oaks, it becomes a physical type deal. Once again, Mr. Hamilton. Coach Gillian is not happy with Mr. Hamilton.
Jones with both free throws makes it a 3-point game. 5:20 to go, first half.
No Greenlee on the floor, so looks like Coach Harden's going to go to a little continuity offensively.
Great block.
Unable to finish. Germain couldn't finish the putback after the Miguel miss. Now here comes the Rock in transition. Pull up from the elbow, and McCray is short. Foul on the second effort from Campbell.
Second chance points on both ends have been a big key to both teams' points so far. I think there's been 2 threes made, both by the Rock, but everything else has either been layups or putbacks. And it's interesting because the bigger team seems to be getting hurt on second chance a little bit more than the Rock is.
Well, notice this with West Oaks. Every time they have one big on the floor, the Rock makes a run. Every time they have both bigs on the floor, they're the better team. They're just comfortable with 2 bigs. Looks like we're man here for the Rock.
Miguel on the drive and kick out. Now inside to Germain. Gets the dunk blocked from behind by Charlton, but a foul called.
That's pretty good basketball right there, both ways. Good rotations, good ball movement, and, probably a good call. What do you think?
I agree with the call personally. Anytime you swipe across and the ball hadn't left the hands, I think you're going to get that call.
He uses all 10 seconds at the line and knocks it down.
Well, I was waiting on sunrise tomorrow. I thought the sun was going to come up before we got that one released.
Yeah, whatever works. The 6'10 big man missed both attempts earlier and took his time there and knocked it down.
He's a great kid, too. Unbelievable kid. If you talk to him, say hello to him. Great kid.
Now, he's done a good job today. I know he's not known as a scorer, but he's been very active. And I think that, his offense will I think his best basketball is ahead of him.
Well, he's really stepped up for Hamilton being in the doghouse with Coach Gillian.
Pull up 3 for Greenlee off the back iron. Deep rebound for Amandio.
You got to be smart if you're Greenlee. You've got 2.
They'll reset West Oaks. Jones driving from the wing. Shot no good off the glass. Germain with the rebound. Shot never hit the rim, so shot clock is into single digits. Shot rejected by Kidd. Here's Germain at the buzzer. Gets blocked by Kidd again.
That's a great defensive possession by Kidd.
Greenlee passes out to McCray. McCray weaving into traffic, and the floater falls.
I was about to say that's not his game, but.
Yeah, no, that was a hell of a move and a finish there. I'd like to see a little. That ball seems to be sticking a little bit too much with West Oaks right now.
5-point lead for the Rock. Great crowd on hand here in Daytona. Great environment. And a 3-pointer silencing the crowd as Tyrell Jones knocks it down.
I thought he's had a pretty good half so far. I'd like to see him impose his will on the game a little bit more as his team struggled a little bit here in the first half.
Blackney up top to Amandio. Jones, who just hit the three, trying again, and he gets back-to-back triples. West Oaks in front.
He's got 11 now, and
that's why I think he's the most dynamic guard in the league. May not be the most skilled, may not be whatever, but he's the most dynamic guard in the league. Difference maker.
No, I agree, and I just wish the ball was in his hands more. I don't like him playing off the ball as much. As obviously he can shoot the ball pretty well. He's a streaky shooter, though. But I just like him with the ball in his hand because it's hard to keep him in front of you, and he's a heck of an athlete.
Here's the problem right now if you're the Rock. The ball has been at the rim all night for West Oaks. The Rock has not been at the rim all night. That's a concern to me.
Absolutely.
And also now you're rolling the dice with Greenlee with 2 fouls. You're going to try to get the shooter here coming on the baseline.
Pass was deflected inside. And it went out of bounds off of the Rock.
You know, with Greenlee, I've noticed he's just hesitant to look to score. And I think he's one of their better offensive weapons as a scorer. And I think he's got to say, you know what? If I miss 4 or 5 shots, it's not going to deter me from taking that next one. Right. And every time he came off a pick and roll, even that last shot he took, he seemed a little hesitant, like it was an afterthought.
Jones with his 3rd straight three-pointer, and that one from beyond NBA range.
Good move right there.
Campbell fouled on the reverse layup.
That's what you needed. If you're the Rock, though, you needed to get the ball to the rim. You need to get to the foul line. You need to calm everything down a little bit. Really needs to make both of these, cut it to a two-point game, and go down and get a stop. But my recommendation is somebody in the gym probably needs to guard Mr. Jones.
Yep. For these next 2 minutes, somebody better, pressure up and get up in him. But the problem is he's so shifty with the ball in his hands. You just got to hope you keep him in front and contest. You got to give him something. But showing that he can be a very lethal weapon from beyond the arc right now.
I believe the score should be 20-28. There we go.
2-point game, final 2 minutes, first half. West Oaks leading with the basketball. Neal in the game for the first time for West Oaks, weaving up top with Miguel. Nice feed inside. A foul called against Kidd, who thought he had another block. Or rather against Capiti.
Got him with the left hand as he went up. Right call. The problem is, once again, if you're the Rock, where's the ball at? The ball's at the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 free throws for the Flame here with 1:49 left in the half. And the first is good.
Which is why he's gone zone, to keep that penetration out. But then when they go zone, they just, with 2 bigs, they go high-low. They throw it to the short corner and dive. They get it into the high post. He does have some matchup issues here, personnel-wise.
I think you're almost better off over-helping and making them shoot it from the outside.
Definitely. Other than Jones, who else has hit an outside jumper?
Greenlee, cross-court pass to the corner. Three-pointer is short for Charlton. One and done is the Rock.
He's been quiet so far in the first half.
Had great looks, just hadn't made anything.
That's deep.
Rims off and rebounded by Charlton.
I like A.J. Neal, though. I think he's a difference maker for them.
Pass deflected inside, tipped up in the air, stolen by Miguel, who outlets ahead to Harris. Harris blocked at the rim, but a foul called again against Capiti, who thought he had another clean rejection.
Well, now with Capiti, that's great hustle. I admire it. You've shown that you can protect the rim. But now, how many is that on him? I think that's 3. I know he's got 2 in the last few minutes. I think that's his 3rd, though.
Well, I think they've already got foul trouble with their other big, number 20.
7 fouls on West Oaks tonight as a team, 10 against the Rock. So fouls plenty in the first half.
You know, in talking to Justin Harden before the game, you know, during shoot-around, one of the things that's concerned him is his team has never shot the ball well in this gym. Never.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you know, all he wanted to do was come in here tonight and shoot it well. And felt like if he shot it well, you know, his guys had a great chance to win the basketball game.
The Rock takes a timeout with a minute left in a 5-point game.
You know, unfortunately, tonight, if you look at the Rock, their marquee guards or their best players, which are their scorers, you know, really haven't been difference makers tonight. It's been them going and getting offensive rebounds. That's probably the reason they've got 28 points. As far as making shots, you know, Jaden Campbell hasn't made a shot. Greenlee hasn't made a shot. Charlton hasn't made a shot. So I think when you go in at halftime, you know, you're going to go in, you know, potentially could be down. The biggest thing you got to talk about is, guys, we got to make shots.
Yep.
You're Division I basketball players. You're in your state semifinal. There's no excuse not to make shots.
No, definitely. And it's funny you bring that up because I did the game here against DME, and they went about 12 minutes without a field goal. They were up about 8, and DME went on a 22-0 run to finish the half and to start the second half, and they did not score a basket till then. They went on one of the longest droughts I've seen in this gym. And so that's a good point, Casey. The gym has obviously been not their favorite to shoot in. But you know what? If they finish this half on a good note, you're down 1 or 2 possessions, you got to feel pretty good about yourself.
I'm going to say Justin probably thinks about as much about hoop cred as everybody else does around.
Yeah, we got to change that. Sooner, the better.
I don't know how much a paint job costs when we're looking for some paint.
The Rock came in here last year 34-4. They lost in the semifinals of this SIAA tournament to Oldemar's Christian. And now here's a turnover by the Rock with 50 seconds left. West Oaks gets it back, leading by 6.
This is a big trip for West Oaks.
Yeah.
Hit a two, you're up 8. Hit a 3, you're up 9. It's a big trip.
Well, I think it's a bigger trip, too, on the aspect of if I can get this shot up in the next 12, 14 seconds, I get that 2 for 1. Especially if I can get a basket off of this possession, too. You know, I'm looking to go 2 for 1 here if I'm West Oaks. Pretty good adjustment by Coach Harden to slow him up and make him have to use clock because now that 2 for 1 is gone.
Here's the problem, and if you'll notice this right now with what the Rock's doing in their zone, the top 2 guys are interchanging to protect the middle, a double dribble.
Greenlee with the double dribble, defended nicely in transition by Selton Miguel to force the turnover. Now with 21 seconds left, West Oaks can hold it out.
Right call.
Yeah, great call, but it was a tough decision for Greenlee, and as he gets older and matures as a point guard, I think he'll make the right decision there. I thought he got a long rebound. He thought, let me go get in transition instead of holding for 1, and now they did get a 2 for 1.
Final 10 seconds. Neal into the corner.
That's a good catch.
Turnaround no good. Clock will expire. And at the halftime, it's West Oaks leading the Rock 34-28 in a seesaw first half here in this SIAA semifinal matchup.
It's a very intense and active game. I mean, both teams have played very hard. And nothing around the rim has came easy, even though there's been a lot at the rim. For as much as that's been at the rim, especially on West Oaks side, you know, there's been a lot of shots erased by their bigs. Obviously, they're in foul trouble now because of it, and Coach Harden has to worry about that. But I thought for the most part that's a very intense and physical and fast first half.
You know, my thoughts on it is that if I'm the Rock, I've got to do something different to guard the post. We can't depend on blocking shots on the defensive end to win the ball game. If you can't guard your yard, and you can't keep the ball in front of you, then we've got to find someone who can. If I'm Coach Harden, that's what I'm saying, because we can't afford to get our bigs in foul trouble, because that appears to be where West Oaks is looking to go tonight. Now, if you look at their zone, let's talk about their zone for a second. I'm not a zone guy, so I don't know much about it. The problem is right now they're taking the 2 guards and they're stacking them, and they're having to interchange to guard the middle. I think that takes too long, and that's the reason West Oaks is able to throw the ball in the middle of the paint one-on-one. They've got to create a 2 guards, and just let them match with the top 2, because West Oaks has attacked it with 2 guards more than they have 1 guard.
Yeah, the ball's been getting into the high post way too easy, and from there they've been in trouble because it makes your zone have to collapse. And fortunately, West Oaks hasn't shot that well from the perimeter other than Jones. So, it's been a pretty well played game, and I think that the better team so far has been West Oaks. But like you said, if it becomes a chess match and it comes down to execution, and if the Rock can get more penetration, we should have a really good barn burner down here in the second half.
But if you're the Rock, also coming out of halftime, you can't afford to let West Oaks get on a run. If they get on a run, it's going to be hard for them to come back. I don't know if they're built to be a comeback team. I think they've got to keep it close and be able to execute.
Especially if they're not going to be shooting the ball well in this gym.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So at the half, it's a 34-28 lead for West Oaks, leading the Rock. Second half coming up in about 7 minutes. We'll be back then with the final 18 minutes of this one, finding out who will be the first of 2 teams to punch their ticket to the SIAA Men's Championship here tomorrow in Daytona.
guys up. Luke doesn't need any boosting, but I just got a text from my buddy who's an assistant at NSU.
Set for the second half, with West Oaks leading the Rock 34-28 here at the DME Sports Academy in Daytona Beach with the first of our two semifinal matchups here. And the SIAA boys side of things. The championship coming tomorrow. West Oaks in these maroonish type jerseys. The Rock in the home whites. They are the home team for the matchup. And West Oaks will begin with the basketball first after the two teams switch sides.
The Rock comes out in an extended 3-2 zone.
1-3-1.
Yeah, move to a 1-3-1, yeah.
Jones on the pull-up. Couldn't get it. Player's falling down as the rebound gets tipped over to Campbell. And then his pass gets tipped out of bounds. So the Rock will inbound in their front court here on their first possession of the half.
You know, Coach Gillian's over there talking to Jones about staying in your role. Jones is like, Coach, where are you going to hit 3 in a row? I was in my role. Maybe we need to redefine my role.
Right. No, I'm crazy. I love that kid's game, Jones, and when I watched him play, I was so shocked that he played that much off the ball. He was at the DME camp this summer, and no one could keep them in front of him. And I just didn't see him ever playing off the ball.
Jaden Campbell, he's got to be big.
Campbell with the three-pointer, second on the team in scoring this year. As Jermaine can't finish around the rim, rebound is tipped over to Charlton. Campbell again gets knocked down. He'll shoot 3. So he'll head to the line with a chance to tie for the Rock. They trail by 3. In the opening frames here of the second half.
You know, once again, though, and I know that it was an empty possession, but where was the ball for West Oaks? Right at the rim. The ball is right at the rim. You do got to admire the size of the coaching staff the Rock has. 1 per player. Everybody gets a player.
Campbell ties up the game with all 3 free throws.
You talked about, Casey, how they come out in the second half, and the Rockets came out with a 6-0 run, and it's anybody's ball game. Kept them out of playing catch-up.
Unable to handle the pass was Amandio. It winds up in the hands of Riffin Miguel for the lay-in.
Ball got in the middle again, even though he got a deflection, still ended up as a layup for West Oaks.
McCray from beyond the arc hits the triple.
You know, I will say this, though. The Rock has made West Oaks go zone. The game's turned into now an execution game instead of a rugged street fight.
Jones and Miguel having a catch beyond the arc. Now they get Blakeney involved. His 3 from the corner rims off. Rebound loose, out of bounds, off of Charlton. Will stay here.
They got away with a foul there on the loose ball. That's a tough call where Charlton had his hands on it, gets one hand ripped off pretty much, and ball goes out of bounds, and possession stays with West Oaks.
McCray with the steal off the inbounds for the Rock.
Great throw-ahead pass.
Turnaround and a foul drawn in the lane by Lynn Kidd, a 6'9 freshman from Alabama who will shoot 2 at the strike.
Very good start for the Rock here to start the second half. bang, bang, bang with three-point play, getting out in transition a little bit. Good start for them. Obviously, the 3-point has been there, probably a little more to their advantage here so far today, other than Jones's little burst right before the second half.
Can't go empty there. Keep in mind, though, West Oaks has one big on the floor.
Legany.
Great split.
To Amandio at the foul line. The kick out. Jones. Shot clock to single digits. Jones from beyond the arc. NBA range. 3 no good. West Oaks keeps it. The runner too strong off the glass for Amandio. Charlton ahead. His pass couldn't be handled by Kidd, who lost it out of bounds.
KYP. That's a tough catch and play for a young big like that, running down the middle of the floor, 15 feet from the basket, catch it on the move. What's he going to do there, even if he does get the ball?
2 empty possessions, up 1, though.
Jump ball as Greenlee tied up Miguel in the lane in a battle of threes. And the Rock will have possession as they lead by a point 3 minutes into the second half.
And a quick leash on Miguel coming out 3 minutes into the second half. I think he's got their only basket here.
Now West Oaks goes back to West Oaks for full court pressure.
Ooh.
Charlton's pass too high for the leaping
Pretty good
Campbell.
play, though. I like that play right there off of the Iverson.
Great play. But, guys, look at this right now. Note this, 14-46, up 1, 3 empty possessions in a row. 3 empty possessions.
2 missed layups, turnover, 2 turnovers, actually. But one should have been a layup.
Miguel back in the middle for West Oaks after a quick breather.
They've packed in their 3-2 a little bit here.
Yeah, Charlton doesn't even need to come out there.
Miguel, the little baby hook off the back iron, rebounded by Charlton. Greenlee doubled in the backcourt, picks up the dribble, finds McCray across the timeline. McCray gets the layup to go.
Little jitterbug, little speed demon there.
3-point lead for the Rock. Floater in the lane, too high, off the mark for Amandio.
Ooh, good Hezzy. Ooh, good shovel.
And fouled on the layup try was Capiti.
I'm not crazy about the decision-making by West Oaks point guard there. You're struggling to score the basketball, and you go down and shoot a floater from about 12 feet with momentum not in your favor. You know, I think he needs to start running shot. I'd put the ball in the hands of Tyrell Jones more. I'm serious. It's not even, and Coach Gilliam's taking him out probably for that shot.
He's over there having that same role discussion.
Yep.
He thought his role was a little bit different role than Coach Gilliam thought.
Surprised, you know, Coach Gilliam's got to be thinking timeout here soon if this thing continues to go in this direction. They've been outscored by 10 points already, and he calls his timeout. Good timeout by Coach Gilliam.
The problem is, though, and I agree with what you're saying, but offensively, you're happy. The ball has been in the half court where you want it every trip. It's been right in front of the rim. The ball's been there. Now, if you're the Rock, at some point an assistant coach, because I'm sure Coach Harden's in the flow of the game, an assistant coach has to be saying, Coach, the longer this game wears on, the more they're able to throw it, we got to do something different to adjust.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. The one thing that's kind of hidden that flaw for them, one is West Oaks obviously not finishing too well at the rim, but also Charlton, even though he's been quiet offensively, he's made some great defensive rebounds in traffic where it's kind of saved them from those second chance opportunities for West Oaks. He's been very good on the defensive glass here, especially in the second half, to kind of allow them to play their small ball. And the crazy thing is he's at the top of their 3-2, and he's been the one. Usually you get those long free throw line rebounds. He's going in there in traffic and hauled in about 2 or 3 already in the second half.
You know what, Coach Mondragon, to go full circle and to come a full adaptation into the SIAA, he's going to give him an entourage. I mean, look at West Oaks over there, an entourage. Look at the Rock, an entourage. Coach Mondragon's got to give him an entourage.
Yeah, he's a little thin over there. Everyone at DMU is pretty thin. I don't have much over there either.
You guys can all wear those skinny khakis, though.
13-2 run here to start the second half. There's a rejection for Capiti. Campbell.
Good hands.
Capiti winds up with it.
You can't save it.
Why would you save that? Instinctive, in the moment.
The Rock outscoring West Oaks 15-2. Since a 6-point West Oak lead at halftime. Getting to the hoop but unable to finish is Jones. Stealing it is Jermaine.
Bad turnover right there.
And Miguel will reset for West Oaks as they try to.
The ball's got to be in Tyrell Jones's hands here. He's got to finish, but that was a good take.
Jones loses it, stolen by Greenlee. Charlton in transition. The lefty finish, no, but a foul.
Go finish, son. Put it in both hands and go finish.
What a start to the second half for the Rock.
You know all about timeout or halftime adjustments. You guys are up 20 and you stayed in there the whole 10 minutes. What would happen if you were down 10? Would y'all not have came out? You guys would just shut it down in there.
Packed it in.
Guys, we're done.
Yeah. No.
Let's have milkshakes and popcorn and call it a night.
Yeah, no, we were in there for a while. I'll talk a little bit, but
A little bit? Like a sermon at church.
Yeah. I knew what he was going to throw different pressures. I just wanted to be ready, and I still don't think we handled it as well as I would have liked. But
pass goes out of bounds off of Greenlee, and West Oaks will inbound.
This is a big trip right here. 9-point game. This is a big trip for both teams. The Rock needs to stop, go up 11. If you're West Oaks and you score, this could be the run that West Oaks needs.
West Oaks was leading at the half, 34-28. They're now down 9. Foul called as getting into the lane was Blakeney.
Keep in mind, that's 3 on Greenlee, guys. Oh, giving him a nice, generous continuation.
yeah, that was generous. But you know what? You thought maybe the other one in the first half on the 3-point play was maybe a little generous. So
can't argue consistency. Yeah, can't argue it. Can't argue it.
The Larry Johnson NBA continuation.
What was that dude's name? Your mama? Not your mama? Grandmama?
Grandmama.
Grandmama.
LJ.
Little 1-2-1-1 pressure here.
The Rock breaking the press.
Oh, that's a foul.
Floater no good for Capiti.
That's a foul, guys.
Blakeney gets the shot blocked by Capiti on the defensive end. Goes out of bounds. And I think it's going to stay here.
That's a foul on this end. But at the end of the day, you got to finish in transition.
Well, give him some credit. That man ran back and protected his rim. Didn't really cry about it. Didn't really lobby for a call. Capiti's been very impressive, and that's a good defensive play.
Charlton with the steal. Charlton foul.
That's 2-point blanks that Charlton normally finishes and hasn't here in these last 2 times he's gone to the basket. You know, Coach Harden calls him a winner. I got to listen to his speech on senior night, and he's won a lot of games for Coach Harden, this kid, and he makes big plays down the stretch. And he hasn't had a great offensive game tonight, but he's still doing things in other areas to help his team win.
I think this is, keep in mind, 2-point blank layups. Just walks the line and misses a free throw. It's 5 points, guys. We've left. If you're the Rock, you've left 5 points on the board.
Yep. No, and as a coach, you're aware of it. You just hope it doesn't haunt you when you look back at the game, down the stretch or after the game.
I think a basket by West Oaks that your body language looks uncomfortable. If you're Coach Harden, you got to take a timeout.
They just haven't been able to stretch the floor, man. They haven't hit anything from the outside other than Jones, and he walked.
Oh. Yeah, get an offensive foul on West Oaks.
I don't understand what the call was.
I think
we never reported a foul.
No. It looked like he was signaling an offensive foul, but never gave a number to the scores table. Certainly did not make the traveling sign.
Yeah, he didn't do that either. It looked like an illegal screen or something, but
must be Canadian rules. I've always wondered what Canadian basketball was like. Now I know.
Oh, good in and out.
Pull up. Good. Charlton.
You heard me over here talking about him. He said, how about you shut up, announcer? I got you, buddy. Attaboy.
10-point lead for the Rock.
Now notice, starts feeling good, starts extended. He doesn't need to extend. Stay back in there, Charlton. There he is.
West Oaks is with two bigs again.
Yeah, but Coach Gillian's going to dial something up right here.
Harris up top, shot clock to 9. Miguel firing into the lane. Harris pulls it away, can't finish the jumper. Whistle on the rebound. And a foul against West Oaks. It's going the other way.
At some point, West Oaks is going to have to take and make some outside shots.
Absolutely.
They have been very bad from the perimeter today. And then their guards haven't finished at the rim either. So it's been a very rough go on the offensive end for West Oaks. And they really haven't been able to turn them over and get out in transition like they like to do either. So this game is totally playing into the Rock's hands right now.
Well, you got to appreciate.
Teardrop good in the lane for Capiti.
He might be the player of the game so far. He's been really good.
He's been really good. But see right here, watch Charlton go out. I think the middle's got to stay his responsibility. But I agree with you. West Oaks has got to make an outside shot.
Amandio with his scoop, no. Rebound pulled away by Amandio. In trouble is Miguel. He finds Amandio. Top inside. Riffin Miguel misses the layup. Loses it on the second try.
Oh, man, they're letting him play.
Well, I understand Coach Gillian being unhappy about that.
And Campbell at the lane.
To have a meltdown.
Timeout taken. The Rock leading 52-38, and they have dominated the second half, outscoring West Oaks 24-4 since a 6-point deficit and intermission.
But
foul count 6-1.
Yeah, foul count 6-1. But before that foul or no call, that should have been a foul. 2-point blanks they miss, and there was no fouls on those. So at some point, your guys got to finish around the rim and make it and stick a jumper. They've been really, really bad offensively, and it's not like we haven't been saying they're at the rim. How many times have they been at the rim?
They've been at the rim all night. You got to finish.
West Oaks was leading by 6 at the half. And they're now down by 14, a 20-point swing here in the first 8 minutes of this half. Has it been as simple as just missing shots? What has gone wrong for West Oaks here?
You know, I think it's missing shots. I think it's a build of frustration that the Rock came out and has made shots. They've gotten the ball. They've done some different things. I understand Coach Gillian's upset because that was a foul. But overall, you just got to give credit to the Rock. They've outplayed them this half.
It's starting to show in their transition defense, too. The frustration is instead of getting back, they're swiping at the ball, they're dropping their head instead of sprinting back because they've won the transition game, too.
Yep, and I think you'll get a call here.
Out of the timeout, the lefty laying good for Amandio. Just the third bucket in this half for West Oaks. They're down 12.
I'm going to say in the last timeout, Coach Gillian talked about the world versus us. Talked about if they're not going to give you a call, you're going to go have to make it. That's what you're going to see West Oaks come out and play with right here.
During halftime warm-ups, he asked every one of his players if they wanted their season to end tonight. He may have asked them again during the timeout. Layup no good for Miguel in transition. A block for Capiti and a late whistle.
There's the makeup call.
You know, and the thing that frustrates me is Tyrell Jones, instead of going and initiating contact or looking for it, he ducks it and double clutches so they can't call it. And now, because the refs feel like, you know what, we might have missed one, they call something on a guy who's played his butt off today, and that's not a foul. And now, is that 3? Is that what? How many is that on him? On Capiti, you know, that changes the dynamics of the game.
I'm going to say this. If you're the Rock and you don't score this trip and West Oaks does score, I think you got to take a timeout.
Absolutely. And he needs to get off the sideline here.
10-point game, 9 minutes left.
Lower that screen.
Greenlee off a pick, into the lane, exploding to the hoop. Can't get it, but the dunk back for Capiti.
He's been the guy today.
He's been good.
I believe he's a freshman.
I have him as a junior.
Junior, okay. I know they got a young freshman big that they play. And that's a good sign.
Big shot.
It's a good sign for them.
Much needed 3 for West Oaks, makes it a 9-point deficit. 8:20 to go.
A little run and jump here.
Greenlee shuffling ahead to break the press with Lee. Lee to the baseline, Capiti. Kick out.
Pass.
3. Campbell hits the triple.
Big shot. You know, we talked at halftime. He's got to come out and play. He's the one. He's the difference maker.
12-point lead for the Rock. Final 8 minutes of the semifinal matchup. Jones for 3. Can't respond.
It's a foul.
Rebound goes out of bounds off of West Oaks.
Capiti has been phenomenal. That was a heck of a pass. He was put in a tough position on that baseline. Got caught in the air and found the shooter in the corner. You know, and another thing is I know the foul count's 6-2, but ever since Coach Gilliam's pointed it out, there's been 2 or 3 fouls West Oaks has committed, and they've gotten away with all of them. I'd continue to do it.
Big shot right here.
Charlton can't hit the 3.
That's a push in the back.
Got away with that one. But you know what? I'm okay with big boys playing big boy basketball this time of year.
Blakeney.
That's a foul.
Hammered on the way to the hoop.
Can't argue that one.
He'll shoot 2.
He's been quiet. I don't even know if he scored today.
He has been quiet.
I have him as their leading scorer, averaging 19 a game. Certainly nowhere near that tonight.
The ball's got to be in Tyrell Jones's hands these last 7:23.
Here's the thing about West Oaks, though. They're going to keep attacking. They're going to keep attacking. They're going to keep attacking. They're champions. They won 2 in a row. They're champions. They're going to keep attacking.
There's a lot of ball game left, too.
10-point game, 7:23 to go. Full court press put on by the Flame.
I still think the number for Coach Harden is 8.
McCray with a nice bounce pass. Here's Charlton with the lefty lane.
Another nice decision by Capiti.
Jones losing it, getting it back. Shot no good. Jermaine fouled on the third shot of the possession. He'll shoot 2.
They've definitely picked up their intensity level since that timeout by Coach Gilliam. And they're starting to wear on them on the offensive glass.
I mean, let's call it what it is, guys. It's a war down there. And both coaches are asking referees to make decisions when a war's going on in the 3-foot circle.
Wow.
That
was long. That was longer than the one earlier.
Guys, this is a good time for everyone to please check out our concession stand.
Yeah. You can fit a station ID in Well, Jermaine's trying to get a free throw off. He's 2 of 5 from the line.
We could do in-game sponsors.
I had him at 8 seconds there as he misses. 2 of 6 from the line for the big man. 12-point lead for the Rock with the basketball.
That's tough.
No good for Charlton. McCray from beyond the arc. Off the mark.
Boy, Simeon's done a great job battling down there. I bet you he's got 15 rebounds. Great pass.
Nice hesitation, but the layup blown.
I mean, when you look back at the game, how many point blanks are we going to say that they've missed today?
Absolutely.
That's a big shot.
In and out on the 3 for Lee.
Good throw ahead.
Amandio gets it pulled away in midair. And then a foul called.
The guard play has struggled today of West Oaks.
You know, I'm going to say Coach Harden's over here calling Dalen Lee over here, and he's having the role conversation with him. Son, we don't need a three-pointer off one pass up 12.
That was a league line 3, too.
Yeah, he's giving him an education right now.
That's a 2-on-1 break. You missed 2-point blanks at the rim. You got a 2-on-1 break. You turn it over. I mean, the opportunities that West Oaks has squandered here in the last few minutes have been something that Coach Gilliam's going to have, a lot of deep, he's going to be very disappointed after this game if it comes out not in his favor. A.J. Neal's back in, shooter.
I like him. Spark plug, I like him.
They need some outside shooting badly right now.
Have they made one except for Jones? Jones made 3.
Miguel?
Miguel made one?
Yep.
14-point game just over 6 minutes ago. Here's Neal. Blakeney down the lane. Wraparound pass couldn't be handled by Miguel. Stolen away by the Rock. Lee, his pass deflected and gets the kid anyways for the lay-in.
That's bad transition defense, though.
Great play.
Coach Gilliam can't be happy with his transition defense this half either. They've been very bad, and letting the frustration on the offensive end affect their defense and, most importantly, their transition defense.
Well, I think the conversation right now, and I think it's 2 separate conversations in both huddles. Right now, Coach Gilliam's saying, guys, we're fine. We've got a shot clock. We're fine. We're down 16. We've been here before. We play fast enough. Just keep attacking the rim. Good things are going to happen. Right now, Coach Harden's over here saying, guys, we've got to execute. Only if we have a great on situation do we attack the rim. Other than that, let's run a little clock. Let's get what we want, make the one extra pass, and let's continue to shoot wide open shots.
Yeah, and I think you got to go with your press break, or you got to get your press break ready because the pressure's coming. And like you said, offensively, if we don't got a layup, pull it out. Let's run clock. Let's get something we want. Let's not take something quick just because it's there in a situation where bad shots usually lead to runouts, and you let West Oaks get out in the open floor, this 16-point lead can dwindle down to 8 real quick.
And what a tale of 2 halves tonight here in our first SIAA boys semifinal matchup. West Oaks led at the half by 6. They've managed just 13 points in the 14 minutes so far this second half. The Rock leading 63-47. The Rock has outscored West Oaks 35-13 since intermission. West Oaks with it out of the timeout. The deep 3 for Jones couldn't be banked in. Rebounded by the Rock with Kidd.
That's the worst possession I've seen coming out of a timeout by either team.
Yep, I'd agree.
Lee on the pull-up, gets fouled, finishes anyways, and 1.
I do not like the body language of West Oaks right now. Guys seem really frustrated, and it looks like they're at that moment where It looks like they're about to pack it in, to be honest with you.
You know, I don't believe that'll happen because I think Coach Gillian is such a class guy and he does such a good job with his program. I think there's going to be a run here. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a run. That free throw made started.
18-point game, 5:15 to go. Floater off the mark for Jones. Charlton ahead, and the lay-in, good for Lee.
I could be wrong. It's the reason I struggle in Vegas.
Well, just another quick shot. Tyrell Jones takes a deep three off one pass, and then he comes down here and shoots a floater. Seems like now maybe these guys aren't going to trust each other and take quick shots, and you know they need to just stay within themselves and make the right basketball play. Good rebound.
Big time rebound.
Miguel with the rebound, outlet ahead to Campbell. Campbell to the hoop, draws the foul.
Right call.
There'll be 2 free throws. West Oaks trailing by 20 and 4:36 to play.
Coach Gilliam's got to be talking about what they're about to get into defensively, but also probably about pushing the pace and trying to be very disruptive.
Well, keep in mind, what they do fits right now. What they do naturally in pressing, running, and all that stuff gives them a chance to still be in this ball game. Because right now, it's 7 possessions, but in his mind, it's 5 possessions because of how fast they are capable of playing. Now you got to make free throws.
19-point game, the Rock with the lead and the basketball, 4.5 to go. Alley-oop, but the layup no good for Campbell.
Kind of an alley-oop to himself. He got it right back off his own pass.
Well, Elevate Academy used to be real big about the double alley-oop.
Charlton's bucket gave the Rock a
Great
21-point lead, and now McCray turns it over on the fast break.
Good split.
And McCray then fouls Tyrell Jones. Final foul to give for the Rock. Both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way, but for now, West Oaks will be forced to inbound, down 21. Blakeney.
Got him.
They needed that.
And one. Big time move.
Cuts it to 19 with a free throw upcoming.
They need a jolt. They need a little spark, and hopefully that can get it started for West Oaks. They're going to need a few turnovers here, too, and be able to capitalize on them. And they're going to have to hit a few threes. I mean, at the end of the day, you've made 4 of them today. They're going to need to make 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
We're under the 4-minute mark. The Rock up 19. Campbell. Foul. Campbell, a 6'4 junior out of Toronto. Speaking of Canadian basketball. One of 4 players on the Rock to be averaging double digits this year.
You know, that was a good call, though. That was a foul. That was a foul.
I thought for the most part it's been a well-officiated game. I thought there's been maybe a few missed calls, but for the most part they've been consistent, and they've also let the kids dictate the outcome on the floor.
You know, I don't think the game's been too rough, you know, with letting the kids play. That's normally what you worry about. But, no, I agree. I think officiating's going to be good.
2 for $1.
Big rebound.
Campbell the board for the Rock. They're up 20. 3.5 to go. McCray to Campbell. Inside. And stripped was Capiti. Timeout taken by the Rock. 3:22 to go. It's a 70-50 lead for the Rock over West Oaks, trying to make their way to tomorrow's SIAA championship. If that does happen, well, who are they going to play? We'll find out later on tonight, as Victory Rock and DME will be in action for the final of our 4 semifinal matchups here tonight from Daytona. That game will be coming up not too long after the completion of this one. Victory Rock against DME, not to look ahead and put the Rock in the championship already, but what are we looking for in the second semifinal matchup here tonight on the boys' side.
Well, you know, Victory Rock played DME earlier right here and got the better of them. I think
It's an understatement.
DME was a little stunned. I think they were not as good then as they are now. The thing with Victory Rock that makes them a really good postseason team is they're huge. They're one of the biggest high school teams I've ever seen. They can put a lineup out there that's 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 7 foot, 6'9". It's very rarely do you see that. The question with Victory Rock is, can they score it in the half court if they can't go offensive rebound and go get it? And that's what Coach Mondragon's preaching to his kids in pregame is, guys, if we box out, make them shoot jump shots over the top of us, we got a chance to win the basketball game.
Yeah, and they're definitely a different team. Mayum was not eligible yet for DME, and he's been a huge contributor to that team. Toughness, defense, and obviously an athlete who can help them on the glass today. But I definitely think that DME is going to have to come out and be, one, they got to believe that they can win. But two, I think, obviously protecting their defensive glass is going to be the key. And then obviously I think they're going to have to hit a lot of threes. I think the three is going to have to be the equalizer tonight.
And we'll have that game right here on the live stream, same way you're watching this one, as Greenlee's basket just gave the Rock, a 22-point lead with free throws upcoming here for Tyrell Jones under the 3-minute mark.
He's been quiet in the second half. He had a great first half, but really hasn't been too involved. And, I think he's too much relied on as a jump shooter in their offense.
Well, I think at the end of the day, if this game holds up, if you're West Oaks, you're going to look at it and say, boy, we had the ball in a lot of good spots and didn't finish.
West Oaks with a near steal on the press. Rock will inbound in their front court. 20-point game with 2:50 left. Inbounds to Greenlee on the back door. He lays it in. Too easy for the Rock off the inbounds. Their lead back over 20.
Good hands.
McCray with the steal. McCray's pass too hard for Greenlee to handle. Lost it out of bounds.
Charlton's been very disruptive on the defensive side and then protecting his glass here. He's played a pretty good half, even though maybe, he hasn't had the offensive night he would have liked. There's another one.
Great decision.
Yep.
Great decision. That's the kind of stuff that'll get you 2 cheeseburgers in a post-game meal. Dribble it back out, son.
No,
Carlton's pass. Stolen. Nope, nearly stolen. McCray comes away with it. Shot clock to 8 for Greenlee. Under 2 minutes to go. The Rock up 21. 3 to shoot. Greenlee to McCray. 3. Rims out at the buzzer.
That's not a bad possession, though.
No.
I know you didn't get what you wanted, but it's not an awful possession.
.146 left. West Oaks down 21 after they held a 6-point lead at halftime. And free throws upcoming here.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little shocked by the outcome of this game today.
But you got to think about this. West Oaks didn't play in the state tournament last year. They haven't lost a state tournament game in 3 years. Think about that. That's an unbelievable run not to lose a state tournament game in 3 years. But I'll give credit to the Rock. I thought the Rock was the better team. Definitely the last 18 minutes of basketball game.
Definitely, no. They were definitely the better team. They made outside shots and they got out in transition, which has helped them. And they handled the pressure.
There's a basket just in front of the shot clock horn for McCray, and now a steal once again for Charlton, who's padding that stat column here late in this one.
Charlton looks shaken up a little bit. He's limping back to the sideline. I wouldn't be surprised if his night's over for today. Yep, looks like it.
It certainly should be at this point. The Rock leading 75-53, a 22-point advantage with just 67 seconds to go. It looks like the Rock will be heading to the SIAA Championship tomorrow to take on the winner of our next and final game of the night.
You know, I think it's been I know the score says 22 points. I don't view this game as a 22-point game. I think it's been a lot closer than that. A play here or a play there, and I think you probably got a 4 or 5 point ball game.
Off the inbounds, the layup was missed by Gomez. Jones misses the three, rebounded by the Rock. Final minute left here in this one.
Great hustle.
Jones with the steal, Jones with the lane.
Got to give them credit. They're still competing, still fighting. You know.
And a travel call against the Rock. Razdo Butko, the sophomore from Ukraine, with the travel. He's in the game for the first time.
Coach Harden's over there going tick, 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 tick. He's just hoping the power don't go out. Good shot by A.J. Neal there.
They needed that about 10 minutes ago.
I agree.
Now a steal as well for West Oaks. Jones, he hits a three. Gomez will break the press. Shot clock turned off.
What do you got for what's your line for this next one?
Yeah, I don't know. I might think about that for a little bit. Got me a fresh Diet Coke here.
And the Rock will be going to the SIAA Championship game here tomorrow night with a 75-61 victory over West Oaks. They beat Calusa Prep by 40 earlier this week. They win here tonight in the semifinals by 14, erasing a 6-point deficit at the half to outscore West Oaks 47-27 in the second half. And we have one half of our championship set with the Rock coming back with a dominant second half to pull off the W here tonight against West Oaks. And what a second half it was for them.
You know, you gotta give credit where credit's due. The Rock came out, executed the last 18 minutes, you know, made a couple plays, did a lot of the right things. So you got to give credit where credit's due there. Take nothing away from West Oaks. Take nothing away from the job West Oaks did this year. Take nothing away from the 3-year run they've had and what Coach Gillian's done with his program. And, you know, I think they'll be 100% back in the future. And, you know, now you see a kid that's upset and stuff like that. See you in the morning, Pastor Tom.
No, I agree. I thought the Rock came out and matched the intensity early on. Didn't get off to a great start, but made some really good plays. And then I think that, you know, West Oaks will be back. Obviously, I think their guards couldn't play much worse than they did today. I think their guards had a pretty bad day. Usually they rely heavily on their guards, and you know, it's just one of those off nights that I'm sure that they're going to look back and think about how many point-blank layups they missed and how many outside jumpers they didn't make either. So it's just a rough game for them. But give credit to the Rock for how they competed and also came out in that second half. And I definitely think the player of the day today was Capiti, holding the fort down inside, changing shots at the rim. Where I think you got to give him some credit on some of those misses at the rim too. He blocked about 6 or 7 shots. Probably could add a few more. Few of those misses probably were because they're wondering if he's coming to get it from the weak side. I thought he was phenomenal for Coach Harden. He's going to need that if Victory Rock or DM, whichever opponent, because both teams have true centers on their roster.
Well, I think this, I think Coach Gillian and his staff's going to look back at a couple things. Number one, they're naturally going to look back and say the foul count was 7-2. And that let them get on a run. That's going to be probably the first thing his staff says, and just pure upset, right? Because I understand that. But if you'd have told Coach Gillian coming into this game that they were going to be able to drive the ball to the rim, they were going to be able to get the ball in the middle of the paint, and their guards were not going to finish and their big men were not going to finish, then I think he'd have taken that. I think he'd have taken that before he ever got on the bus to come here. But I'm also going to say this. If you look at what happened early on with Hamilton, if you look at some of the problems he had with guards and maybe roles and attitude adjustments and stuff like that, then he's probably, questioning them right now a little bit of, guys, how are we supposed to win a semifinal state game if I'm having to deal with attitude and everything at the end of the season?
No, for sure. You hit it on the head there, Casey. And I think they just, this is a game